think I am. All right. Now I am unmuted, I hope. Sup? I am excited to... Ooh, do you know Twitch just added a guest star feature? I'm going to table that. That's interesting. All right. I'm doing these soft, cold, whatever, openings now. Trying to get better at twitching. What a bizarre system we have set up here. This Twitch thing. But anyway. Hello. Let's just set up what's happening today. Ooh, got messages. Got things going on. All right. Where was the thing? God, I keep accidentally clicking Twitter blue because I put it above my profile. I hate this Elon Musk shenanigan happening. Annoying. Anyway. All right. I found the tweet. Finally found it. Very good. Very good. My viewers are bouncing between 0 and 1. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, welcome. I'm going to be working on this template TypeScript node repository. Here we go. Let me post that to Twitter. Starting off with the repo now. And first issue is that what was it? ESLint ignore that ESLint is linting the coverage directory locally. Let me just go ahead and post that in the Twitch chat. That's the name of the bug, and here's a link to it. There you go. Have fun with that, y'all. Is it here? There it is. All right. So this is the first thing I'm going to work on today. Quick little warm-up bug, then I'll get to some version control shenanigans. So just reproducing the bug. If I open warp, template. Do I not have template types? Huh. I guess I don't have a local. Git clone. Joshua K. Goldberg. Template TypeScript node package. Here we go. Code template. All right. I'm surprised I never actually worked on it on this computer, this specific repos. I thought I did. Maybe I deleted it. Anyway. So it's this nice little template node package I have with a whole bunch of stuff set. Oh, code cov unknown. That's unfortunate. Anyway. It's got a whole bunch of good stuff set up for it, like ESLint and Prettier and tsprune and TypeScript. And it's using pnpm. So if you do pnpm lint, oh right, pnpm install. I did mean to install. Thank you, pnpm. What a good error message. Oops. Anyway, everything's on the wrong window. Okay. There we go. And pnpm lint. Very good. But then if we do pnpm run test -- coverage and then pnpm lint, pnpm lint again, we see that ESLint has been looking at our coverage directory, which is very unfortunate. Requires ESLint enable directive, unexpected unlimited ESLint disable, blah, blah, blah. So I don't even want ESLint to be running on the coverage directory at all. And the way we generally fix that is we open an ESLint ignore file and add coverage to it, or whatever the name of the directory is that we're fixing. Every pnpm lint. Cool. We're gonna make a branch, check out B. What do I call this? Ignore coverage, or lint ignore coverage. Chore ignore coverage directory for linting. Alrighty. And that fixes the issue, which I believe was number 112. Yes. As the issue describes, adds coverage to the ignored directories list. Good stuff. I enabled branch protections, and now I always have to check this big red unhappy red X check thingy in order to merge, but that's okay. And this honestly shouldn't take that long. I've been seeing like maybe 20-second on average shenanigans for my runs, which is pretty fast. I'm pretty pleased about it. It takes 12 seconds to download and install PNPM and packages. Could be better, but 12 seconds isn't so bad. And then like 3 seconds, 1 second to do the actual thing. So we should see these start to become green checks. I see GitHub is having there we go. Having a hard time getting these real-time updated. Okay. Squash and merge. Yay. And what I'm somewhat internally pleased about now is that the list of issues on this package is pretty small. I've closed a whole bunch of them. 53, like a whole bunch of things that I wanted to do and fix and whatever. And now we just have a few things left, 2 of which need investigations. One, like stuff that I want to look into later, 2 of which are blocked on some other tool, and 2 of which I'm going to tackle now. So here's the next issue I'm going to tackle. First meaty one, maybe. Putting it in the Twitch chat, posting on Twitter. Let's see. Next up, how do I describe this? I'm gonna move these side by side. Next up, npm releases are out of sync with package JSON. Irksome. This is irksome. So this confused me. I think someone posted on Twitter an answer to it, so I'll flash through my notifications in a bit. But if we look at the package JSON, let me go back to main and pull, there we go, package.json, very end, because I sort it alphabetically because I'm a maniac. We get version 112 or 112, major minor. And then if we go to npm package template-typescript node, which has, by the way, 327 weekly downloads. I don't know why anyone would install this. It's some automated things people do. Who knows? We see it's version 113. So the problem is I set up this release bot thingy called Release It recently. Words are hard. And this was something that I switched to from a previous package I've been using called Semantic Releases. Semantic Releases is fantastic, by the way. A lot of props and respect for me. It's this fully automated version management package publishing shenanigan. It works really well. It's these things, what they do is they'll look at your commits whenever you push to the main or your master or whatever you call it, the default branch. It'll see all the new commits since the last time they published a release. It'll generate your changelog for you automatically, which is really nice. Oh, this one, there's a bug. Anyway, it'll generate the changelog automatically for you. It'll create tags like on npm and Git and GitHub releases and release for you. My only issue with semantic release, which actually I'll post in the Twitch chat right now, my only issue is that they don't support pre 1.0. Pre 1.0, there's a I had it in my history. Anyway, there we go. here we go. So this is my complaints, that they don't actually support pre 1.0 zero packages. They don't allow you to have a zero major version. It's an opinion from one of their maintainers that I disagree with the opinion. However, what I can understand is that the code in semantic release kind of depends on it being a 1 or higher. So it would be a lot of work for them to support this thing, and they just don't have the time. They're pretty overloaded. And you can see there are a lot of people piling on in this thread. And I don't like joining a pile on. I think maintainers have enough on their minds as it is. So one thing I did actually file recently is, someone thumbs upped it. Thank you, Jay Cornez. An issue that their documentation, I think, is a little overly opinionated. Their docs says, where does it say? Oh yeah. In their FAQs, can I set the initial release of my package to 001? This is not supported by semantic release as it's not considered a good practice, mostly because semantic versioning rules apply differently to major version 0. I think a better phrasing would be, this is not supported by semantic release. Just posted that in the Twitch chat. Semantic versioning rules apply differently to major version 0, and supporting those differences is out of scope. There you go. I think that would be more accurate, and we'll see if they agree or disagree with this issue. I'll also note 57 open PRs, many of which are unlabeled and don't have reviews. Makes me sad. I can tell this project is a victim of its own success and just hasn't had the time to, handle the large influx of people. So good luck, semantic release maintainers. In the meantime, I switched to, another notification. I switched to Release It, which is a smaller project in scope, does less, but supports 0.x versioning. Yay, Release It. Posted it in the chat. All right, but the problem is, the problem is I now have this issue where the versions are out of sync. So I think I saw a notification in my list. You can tell when someone is an influencer because they ratio you. I get like 9 likes and this person gets 13. Anthony Fu. What does Anthony Fu do? Oh shoot, I know this. Creator of VTest, Lida View. Okay, cool. Core team member View, Nuxton V. Very nice. Kind of cool that Anthony posted my thing. Okay, cool. Cool, thanks. All right. I know I saw this notification. I'll need to commit the result. There we go. So Daniel Rowe, another Nuxt person who I've talked to before, very nice individual, posted a suggestion. Let me see. Suggestion from Daniel Rowe. I think it's Daniel Rowe on GitHub. Come on, GitHub. Look at that performance. You got this. There we go. I'm not following. That's wrong. All right. Suggestion. You'll need to commit the results. And Daniel had actually posted a reference here. Okay, I'm using basically the exact same thing as the reference he posted. But I know there was a Release It docs page on CI. Yeah, I'll post that here in the Twitch chat. GitHub Actions, here we go. Commit. All right, so I don't see anything about git commits in this page. Maybe there's a git on their git docs page. Ooh. Well, git push false. So git automatically pushes? What's happening here? Let me actually read these docs. The git plugin in Release It by default does the following. Git adds, git commits, does git tagging, and then git pushes. When it's not in CI mode, it asks for confirmation, but I'm always running this in CI. It's funny when I see people saying a minimum required version of Git. It's such a core piece of software. And I always forget that, oh my God, it actually is not set in stone. It's improving over time. Bonze, hello. Thank you for joining. Welcome. Jen, this is your, wow, first time. Hi. Thank you both for joining. Sorry, I'm just seeing the chat now. I am working on my template-typescript-node-package. Let me post this comment. Here, I'll just quickly bump it because I see I post a lot in the Twitch chat. I recently switched from semantic releases to release it, both of which are packages that help you automatically create change logs and version bumps in your package based on your commit history. And actually, if we look at the past commits, here we go. Actually, you know what? I have a title set up, chore release v180. That's set up by this release workflow. But I'm saying I kind of don't want the configured username to be my name because I think it's confusing to see in the history that I released a thing. So I'm going to put this as username, release it, and I'm going to put the actor as release it at users.noreply.github.com. We'll see if that changes anything. But that's just a side thing. Anyway, getting back to the task at hand, my issue is it doesn't seem to be committing to the history. And the problem is, oh boy, the problem is it's trying to bump to let's say 113 because in the package JSON it's 112, but on npm it's already been bumped to 113. Template TypeScript node package. Let's open these side by side. So on npm it's 113. In my package locally, it's 112. Let's zoom in. So when the release flow runs, it fails because it bumps my local package version to the next one, 113. And then it gets an error that, hey, you already have 113 in existence. So this might be because the packages are out of sync. I feel like I already tried this. So I'm just going to change the version to 114, git add all. I'm going to call this a feature, git commit fate, testing out package version bump. Now this is really improper what I'm doing. I'm just committing a feature to main, but I want the release flow to run and I want to see what happens when it runs. So let's take a look. Feat testing out version 114 bump. By the way, now that I have a few viewers in chat, first of all, thank you for watching my stream. Appreciate you. Second of all, I realize what I'm doing is kind of, I don't know, not super code-y. I'm doing configuration for releases. So let me know if any of this is just I'm going too fast and it doesn't make sense or whatever. But also, if you have anything else you want to talk about, TypeScript, open source, life in general, please let me know. I like chatting with people. And I see 2 folks just left. I really love having a live updated count of viewers in front of me. I can chuckle as I ruin my stream. Okay. So we're watching the release flow. It's setting up PNPM, blah, blah, blah. Come on. It's funny how it mentions the Yarn version. Oop, I hit my microphone. Yeesh. All right, so here's what we're doing. We set the config username to release it. We set the user email to release it at blah, blah, blah. We set our NPM token. We disable the include administrator's branch protection, or we disable that because I need to disable branch protection in order to push to main in the first place. Then we run release it. the latest version of registry does not match package.json. Let's release it. We're bumping up to from 114 to 115. Okay, so now it should be 115. It's got a couple features and bugs, whatever, doesn't matter. Aha! Protected branch update failed. Changes must be made. Oh. Because, you know what it is? It's because I changed the Git name. Dang it, that's why it was set to release it. Or to, whatever, set to Joshua Gilberg. I wonder if I can, in the settings for my repo, add a collaborator. Ooh, what an interesting statement. Almost all of this is over my head, but listening helps conceptually mind map in the long run. Cool, I'm glad it's helpful. I'm just gonna undo the changes I made. Git pull. I'm gonna change the version to 16 just to bypass. Yeah, Jen, if you ever want to like do a dedicated stream just going from 0 to hero on this, on what I'm doing now, how semantic versioning and commits and all this work, I'd be happy to do that with you. Once we can get our TypeScript streams together. Jen, we should take this opportunity while things are running to promote your stuff. You do, oh shoot, what's the name of it? Learn with Jen? What is the actual name of your stream series? Teach Gen Tech, that's what it is. I Googled it, I'm sorry. Setback feature or release. Yes, thank you, Teach Gen Tech. Yeah, which is a great stream. I'm just gonna boop, post it here. All right, so anyway, what I'm doing is, right now, I want to get it so that the release flow both, it does all of, it bumps the version of this package.json, it publishes to NPM, it publishes to GitHub releases, and it makes a git commit with that new version in the package.json. That would be really nice. That's like the last thing in this repo that I didn't even want to do this on stream. I just haven't had the time to do it otherwise. And I need to get this done. It's kind of cool seeing all this stuff that happens in GitHub Actions. Like, to me, it's, I don't know, to me, it's a big black box of, oh, it's just, you know, you have a container or whatever. You have something where your code runs. But actually, it's this whole situation preparing it. All right. Temporarily disabled branch protection. So we're running pnpm release it. Now we're getting up to version 117 because I had said 116. Oh, good. A red. Love seeing the red X. That's great. Why did I switch before the different commit packages? Semantic release. Oh, great question. Semantic releases. Semantic release does not allow pre 1.0. Yeah, why did I switch between? I just posted the thread in the chat, which is really irksome to me. Like, that is a flow that I want, and they just don't have the maintenance time to support it. You see a lot of thumbs up on the thing, and then a lot of thumbs down on the no to the thing. So, otherwise, semantic release is great. Like, I have almost no other complaints with it. But now I had release it working for a moment, but now the issue is protected branch update failed for refs head main. Ugh. Cannot change this locked branch. Changes must be made through a pull request. Rolling back changes. All right. So now the issue is this is like a totally orthogonal thing. I had previously set up branch protection rules where the main branch requires a pull request before merging. When enabled, all commits must be made to a non-protected branch, like some other branch, and submitted via pull request before you merge into main. And gosh diddly darn it. Also, it's locked. That's annoying because then these bots get blocked from pushing to the main branch. So I tried using this this thing here, temporarily disable include administrators branch protection, which is this branch protection bot from this person, Ben Jeffries. But it doesn't seem to be successfully making it so my things can release. So this issue is not even unique to release it. This issue is with any release bot that I might try. That the branch is locked is the issue, or cannot change this locked branch. Changes must be made through a pull request. I hate this. I hate configuring things. I previously made an issue. Branch protection. Release bots. So now I'm going to reopen this. Reopening because it's still an issue. Posting in the Twitch chat. Alright. So the issue is I have branch protection set up on GitHub, which means you're not allowed to just push to main YOLO. Except unless you're an administrator. Which is actually probably wondering. Yeah, because I was able to do that before. Oops. I was able to do it before. Oh my god, get back, man. I was able to just push. So the issue is that the release bot isn't successfully pushing. Irksome. Alright. I wonder if this error complaints warning has anything to do with it. Unable to verify if user Joshua K. Goldberg is a collaborator for template-typescript-node-package. Well, alright. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove lock branch. Here I have a cool little thing. npm version minor, git add all. Git commit and feat small version bump to test, git push. Get it all, git commit, git push. Oh. I guess npm version minor. Fun fact, if you want to bump your package version to something newer, something higher, you can use the npm version command and then say something like minor to bump the minor version, which is the middle one. Okay, so I've disabled the lock branch situation, and we will see if the release flow works now that I've disabled branch locking. I really hope it does. I don't want to keep working on this. I detest working on configuration. I hate this. I want to code, you know? I want to write functions and variables and all this, and instead I am, whatever, messing with GitHub repo settings. As much as I enjoy watching text flow on the screen, I really want to be the person flowing the text. Almost there, come on. npm install's running, let's go. Alright, we're at the release it command. Change set generated, git committed, commit, bah! Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove the branch protections altogether for main. I'm just going to delete npm version minor, git push. So clearly branch protections are a whole thing. I'm going to need to research this further eventually, but I just don't have the energy to deal with this right now. So let's go back to release. Now we wait again. Shout out to live updating text. I wonder what they're using for this. If it's like a React component or a web component or what. No React is found on the page, otherwise my React Dev Tools would say something. Oh no, you didn't see that. Alright. What are y'all doing for the holidays, by the way? Anyone doing anything fun? Families for Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, etc.? Waiting. I'm going to my in-laws, which is always fun. I like it a lot. Okay, so branch protection bot thing failed. Because there are no branch protection. My God. I hate wait. This is what I really hate here. That I have to wait, what has it been? Like 2 minutes, 3 minutes just to get results. Get add all, get commit and feat, remove. Oh, you'll be with your family, nice. That's fun. And here we go again. Release. All right, so I'm getting bored of watching these, so I'm going to just peek ahead to see what I'm going to be doing next. Other than this whole branch protections and/or NPM releases shenanigan, this is actually going to be a little more code-oriented, so yay. I want to use the GitHub API to set up more project settings. What does that actually mean? In this repo, we have a setup.js script that sets up a new repository based on the provided settings. It adds a few dependencies specific to the script. Make sure you're logged into GitHub. It's, what does it actually do? Oh yeah, it sets up the name of the repository, sentence case title, org, description. It replaces a bunch of text in your local files. It replaces the name and stuff from the existing things to your local files. It removes your setup script. It removes the setup folder. It does a bunch of stuff to basically hydrate the repo. It does most of the things that you would want, like setting up the package description and updating your README to include the new data. So actually, I'm going to run it locally. npm setup. Oh boy, I don't know what all that was. npm run setup. And it's broken. Of course it's broken. Cannot find module all computers rc.json. Right, because I had renamed that file to all contributors rc. So let's just go ahead and run the setup again. Watch, I bet you it's going to complain that you tried to import it as JSON, but it couldn't because it doesn't have a .json extension. Love this. Love to see it. So I'm just going to go ahead and file an issue so that I have something more concrete to work on. All right. So there are two issues really here. One is that I need to add an end-to-end test for the setup script. And the other is that, I'm going to call this a bug. It's really a bug. Report a bug. Bug setup script crashes with, what is it? Error module not found for all contributors rc.json. Assigned to me, accepting PRs, area tooling. You should be able to run pm run setup. What actually happened was, this. And it's because I renamed the file in all contributors. Yeah, that's at some previous PR, doesn't really matter which one, I renamed the file. Just Googled what is semantic releases, and it says this. Semantic versioning is a standardized way to give meaning to your software releases. Yep, it's a way for software authors to communicate succinctly to the consumers of their software important info they should know about this release. Semver, or semantic versioning, is represented by just 3 numbers separated by periods. When you make a commit, repo users can see what was changed from the commit message. Also, they can go to the codebase to see the difference between the commits. Yep. Yeah, so it's a really nice system. I quite like it. And oh, look at this. My release it says it worked. All right, so we bumped from version... great question. I will get to it in a moment. We bumped from version 118 to 119. That's good. We published to NPM, which sometimes is caching issues, but I refresh, and yes, it's 119. So now if we go to code, we go to releases and the commits. Yep, sure, release 119.0. And yep, we see 119.0. Awesome. So that means the bug is fixed. It was a permissioning issue. Phew, fixed as of v1 from 19.0. Closed. All right, question. Great question. So how is semantic releases different from what Git commits and the Git diff or diff and the Git repo offer? Semantic releases build on top of your Git commit history. If we go to the code view and we look at our commits, I've surpassed 100 commits in this repo. Great. We see, I'll find a good one here. This is a good example feature. This is a commit. The title was feature bind console.log, always to the same value. I had sent it in a pull request. Ignore the fact that this is just a testing thing. It just changes. The main thing is that it changes some source files and their tests. So this is, oops, didn't mean to close that. This is a git commit. However, that's all that this is. It's a commit. It is a single entry in your Git history. But what I want on top of that commit is a few things. I want on top, I'm typing in the Twitch chat. On top of that, I want my package JSON to have a version bumped accordingly. So a feature would give me a minor version bump, like from 18 to 19. A small bug fix would be like 19.1 or 19.2, what's called a patch version. So I want that computed automatically based on the title of the commit or the message of the commit. If it's a feature or a fix, that's different. Something that's a chore, like cleaning up stuff internally, shouldn't even be a new version. So I want all this automatically. I also want it published to NPM as a package under the new version. So like npm.com package, template-typescript-node-package. We see now that there's a version 119, the same version, published 4 minutes ago. I want it on GitHub under the releases page. So releases / whatever the tag is, v119.0, and we can actually see the whole history of successful releases through time, along with the corresponding commits and Git tags. And if you're not familiar with Git tags, that's okay, you don't have to be. You can actually add metadata to Git commits, specifically tags, which is very often used for the version that they're on. So like here I'm looking at v130. So that's like a lot of stuff on top of Git history that's not a part of Git, which I want. And let me know if that does or doesn't make sense. To me, that makes sense, but I've been looking at this so much, I don't know if I'm still a good person for explaining it all. So I'm happy because although I had to remove branch protections because they're conflicting with release bots and I have to figure out how to use the API to turn them off temporarily, now I have this nice thing where if I say push a feature, let's say this thing, it's detected as feature from the commit message and the semantic release shenanigans, specifically the release-it package, knows to change from one minor version 18 to another minor version 19. Yay, versioning! Good question. Anyway, going back to the setup script. Setup script crashes, error module not found, cannot find module blah blah blah, all contributors. And the setup script break any code change that breaks the setup script should be flagged in some way in CI. It needs to be tested. For example issue of noting it having been broken without any indication. Number 117. Fun fact, 117 is one of my favorite numbers because it is... Actually, does anyone know why 117 is such a beautiful, important number to me? Ooh, I don't even have a label for this. So while y'all are thinking of what is so important about the number 117, I'm going to make a new label. Is it a type? Or I'm going to say area testing. Ooh, look at that color. There you go. Description, improving tests. Improving how the repository's tests are run. And code is tested. Yeah, that seems like a vaguely good description. Cool. And fun fact, I actually have a labels.json script file here in this repo that has the list of labels that get populated as part of the setup script. For example, under this color and the description, please send a pull request, resolve this. I have name accepting PRs. So I'm going to say, I believe I have them alphabetized by area. So I'm going to put a new one here. Description, proving how the repository tests are run and or code is tested. Color is, what color is this? I already forget. Pick color from page. Come on. Hey. My extension's breaking. Where'd it go? Come on, what is that background? Oh my lord. I just want the background color. Yeah, I'm gonna do. /labels for the repo. You can then see the colors for them. Okay. Yeah, speaking to the chat, the fact that it publishes to NPM is one of my favorite things. I really like that. I don't want to have to do that stuff manually. Just, work for me. And then once it's working, I can then set up things like, automatically posting and commits and whatever. So very happy about automation. Because I always forget to post new versions, or I'll forget to run build, and then I post a version that has the wrong stuff in it. It's the whole thing. All right. So that's that label. Cool. Submit new issue. All right. Tooling add test for the setup script. Bug setup script crashes. And actually, one more issue. Feature add area testing label to labels.json. I added a new label area testing to number 118. Let's add it to the list of labels. Pardon me. Set up by default on a new repository. So accepting PRs, area tooling, feature. Normally I would leave this open as a good first issue. Because as a maintainer, it's a good idea for me to leave nice low-hanging fruit for people so that if someone wants to become a new contributor, they can. However, I just want to do this myself. So I'm just going to do it. Git add all, git status, git pull, right, git checkout, b label area testing. So this should be a good test of what happens when we create a new feature, is that it should still all be working. Sorry, my nose is very itchy today. Feet add area testing label to set up data. Label area testing. And once I fix the bug where it can't find the JSON file, we'll be able to actually see this in action. So this fixes 119. Yes. Adds it to labels.json. Files changed 1. Color. Let me just look up that color. That looks good. All right. I need to update the Twitch chat and Twitter thread with all the stuff I did. So here's the pull request, number 120. All right, let me just bring that here. Got that fixed, though branch protections are wonky again, and I need to figure out how to get them to work again. Anyway, moving on to fixing the setup script. Since it broke. And also a little addition for adding a new label to the repository setup script. Cool. So this worked. Issues goes down to 8. Got a new feature in our history. So the release flow, where'd it go? I hate how sometimes these don't get populated on GitHub. There it is, releases, right there. Checkout main, pull. One thing I like to do is I like to always delete branches locally, so I don't have a giant list of Git branches. All right. Ooh, another question. I thought that would have been handled by GitHub Actions. Just to clarify for myself, someone could publish their NPM package using GitHub Actions as well. No, not unrelated at all. That's a good thing to ask. GitHub Actions is kind of like a generic runner. It can do whatever you want it to. So yes, GitHub Actions can be used to publish your NPM package. And I'm trying to set up GitHub Actions or stuff on GitHub Actions to do that. So we're on the same page. GitHub Actions doesn't do anything for you. It just allows you to run code and run other people's code. All right, here we go. Version 120, NPM will eventually update. There we go. And release 120. Awesome. Also, 117 is Master Chief's number in Halo, the main character's code number, 117, Sierra 117. I see no one in the stream is a Halo fan. That's okay. Got my fancy schmancy Halo stuff behind me. Okay. So now we're working on the setup script. Doesn't work because all contributors rc.json does not actually exist. It's all contributors rc, no.json. So function read async function read JSON file path file path, and then return json.parse await fs.read file path to string. So this is just like a basic function that reads a JSON file. And I'm gonna multi-select here, equals await, read JSON. Actually, I can do even, yeah, hindsight is always 20/20. I can do something fancy. I'm gonna read JSON file on these paths. Then I'm actually gonna make this. I'm gonna make this an array, and I'm gonna make this a promise.all. So what I've done here, ooh, I don't need those equals. Come on, there we go. Excuse me. All right, what I've done here is I have created a function that lets you read a file. And I'm just gonna go ahead and read the stuff locally here. And let's move this function. Where do I define other functions? Do I have any functions in this? Okay, no. I'll just put it right on top. All right. So here I declare a function, and what this function is doing, what this function is doing is it takes in a file path, awaits fs.readFile file path, where I'm using the promises version of fs. Oh, you're using Node too! Yay! How has your Node experience been? I actually really like using Node. It runs everywhere, like on GitHub Actions, and the APIs are reasonably good. I like it. It reads the file, does toString, because when you read a file, you get this buffer thing that's not actually a string, and then returns JSON.parse. So read JSON file is an async function that reads a file. Then, and parses it to JSON. Actually, I'm going to call this read file as JSON. Then I do three things in parallel. I read file as JSON all contributors, read file as JSON package, read file as JSON labels. And I load these into data. So now if I run pnpm run setup, all right, it's running. Look at this. Cool. Testing ABC, Joshua K. Goldberg. So this is what the setup script is supposed to do. Finally, we're getting to this. What is this? 52 minutes in stream. I really like documentation. Yeah, the docs for Node are good. They've worked on those for a long time. The thing that was confusing to me was buffers and streams. Oh yeah, I've never actually worked with buffers and streams. I've always worked in something that abstracts them for me. I think I've played with them maybe, but never actually used them for anything. I don't personally use Express often, but yeah, I've used it before. Express is good. There's also another library, Koa, that I like. I like Koa a little more, to be honest. Koa, the camping company. But both Koa and Express.js are great. Koa's got the really nice minimalistic landing page. Yeah, actually, I did a fun prototype karaoke night. I think this is the URL for it. Nope. Oh yeah, karaoke night React. So yeah, this is a fun prototype that uses Node and Koa. Karaoke Night React. From someone who ended up, actually, I don't know if any of you use codedex.io. It's a good place to learn to code. Sounds like you're past Codedex? Yeah, it sounds like you're past the need for this, but the founder of Codedex, Sunny, a friend of mine from real life, he played around with making a VR karaoke thing that I did a prototype of a rewrite of. Anyway, I don't write backend stuff very often. I mean, it's just not something I get around to. So I'm mostly just a front-end person. Back in the day, if you had asked me to write a backend site, I'd probably use Koa or Express, I don't know. But these days, the most backend I do is with Next.js. So that's just me. Oh, I'll post Codedex. By the way, great Learn to Code site. They're doing a really good job. And Sunny's excellent. Sunny worked at Codecademy for ages, has been a professor. Sunny knows how to teach code. Anyway, testing this out, smiley face. And of course it fails with all contributors JSON doesn't exist. Oh my god, because I forgot to rename it. I did all that refactor and then I didn't actually change the thing I was supposed to. And then I need to write the file. By the way, all contributors is this really nice thing. Highly recommend trying it out if you ever get the chance. It's what sets up these tables. Oh boy. Whew, excuse me. Coding is hard. It sets up these tables of contributors on the bottom of your README and like keeps them up to date with this all contributors RC file, which sets up this list of contribution styles for everyone who's contributed. It's really nice. Ooh, I just noticed my commit convention is conventional. This is wrong. I had switched it. So there are different conventions for how you format your commits. So commit convention, Atom, Ember, ES lines. Well, I guess, anyway, I guess that's not relevant. Cool. Yeah, so really like all contributors. In fact, I don't even think I have it documented in the README, so I'm going to do that. All contributors. Now, what is the website for all contributors? They use a space in their name. Okie dokie. Here we go. All contributors. What does it do? Stores the list of users who have contributed both code and non-code and formats a README table and displays them as a table at the bottom of this README. Yay, all contributors. All right. Cool. So back to the setup script. The issue was that all contributors RC, the config file, I had erroneously kept a .json in that name, but there's no .json. And I actually added commands so I can do like -- name, testing ABC, -- title, testing ABC, so I don't have to type them out explicitly. Organization, Joshua K. Goldberg. Description, testing this out. So this should run more automatically. Come on. Nope. What? So there's this, whatever. Testing, ABC. Oh, I got everything except the name. No such file or directory open package.json. Great. And the reason why is when fs.read file is relative to where you're running your script, whereas importing is relative to the script itself. So like when I was doing import ... package.json, that's relative to this setup file, which is in a folder script. But now that I'm using fs.read file, it's actually from where the script is being run. So I have to fix those paths. /script /labels.json. And I had it said -- name testing ABC. Maybe I need to quotes. Oh dear heavens. Whew. Let's try this again. Description, it's repository, not name. Okay. Come on, PM. Testing ABC. Alrighty. Great. Looks like everything worked. You may consider committing these changes. All right, looks like the setup script works and labels is gone. And setup is gone. Oh, right, because it deletes the directory automatically. Right, so that's fine. I'm just gonna undo and undo. Cool. So what is the actual list of changes that it does? It removes everyone except me, bumps me down to just I only contributed tooling instead of bug fixes and code and content, blah, blah, blah. It renames... You know what? It should actually... Right now, it finally replaces the old name with the new name, but I feel like it should actually wipe the changelog altogether. Yeah, I'm going to have it wipe the changelog. I'm going to file an issue for that. Feature. Because there's no need to keep the old changelog, the template repo. It also wipe the changelog, the MD's contents. Ooh. Wipe version history and should reset version history and changelog MD. Right now, when you run pm run setup, the changelog MD and file and package JSON version remain the same, except for repo name description instead of being find and replaced. But a new package would want to start from scratch and clear all that data. Cool. So I'm just going to do this soon. Anyway, file the new issue. Roshan, hello. Thank you for joining. I am working on my template TypeScript node package. I'll post the tweet thread. I keep a Twitter thread of all the things that I'm doing. So let me just bump that. So this package, I'll just restate. Oh, I'm going to sneeze in like 10 seconds. This package is kind of a good starter for anyone who wants to do a TypeScript package. It's got a whole bunch of static analysis and documentation and testing and stuff set up for you and automated releases. But it's a little broken. I'm still working on it. Specifically right now, I'm working on the setup script, which is supposed to take your package forked from this one and find and replace a bunch of stuff, like the repository name. It's also supposed to replace the description, and I see it is replacing the description weirdly, so that's not good. So I'm going to have to file yet another new bug on this package. I'm actually pleased with how this is going. Earlier in the stream, I was getting annoyed because I was working on automated releases and GitHub Actions tooling, and that's all annoying. But now I'm working on actual code, which makes me happy. So bug, setup script adds odd characters to GitHub description. Thank you. What's your context? Are you a big TypeScript person? I apologize if we've talked before and I don't know. And by the way, you and anyone else, feel free to ask any questions, chat about dev stuff, whatever you want. I'm always happy to talk. Okay, so this set is supposed to set up the repository with a new title, description, etc. And here it comes. I hate this. Oh my god. This is the worst. Life is hard. Oh, you use JavaScript. Well, welcome. I'm actually writing JavaScript today. I normally almost always in TypeScript, but the setup script that I'm writing is actually all JavaScript on Node. So that's fun. So one of the things the setup script does is it uses this great package called, oh geez, I forget what it's called. ZH? No. Gosh, I hate this. Ooh. You know what? I'm going to run an 1 minute ad break so I can go blow my nose. I'll be right back. Alrighty. Okay. Well, anyway, I don't know if that ad actually ran, but so sorry about that. Blew my nose. I'm doing well. One of the things the setup script does is it calls to the GitHub API. It uses this fun little package. Where is it? I'm just going to revert all the changes that the setup script did for me. Grab 13 files. Here we go. It uses this ZX package. Here we go. From Google that lets you run little shell scripts more easily in JavaScript. It's a really cool package. And it, where is it? It sets here we go. It sets up a bunch of data on the repo. So there's this GitHub CLI called GH that is really useful for working with GitHub from the command line. And it allows you to not just like read stuff about your repo, GH repo, view, which I think is really cool. It even syntax highlights your readme's markdown in your terminal, but it lets you change things. So like I have it here, change the description. I enable auto merge, like enable a bunch of repo settings in this setup script, which is really nice. Cool. And it looks like part of that is busted. And I think it's cli.github.com for GH. Yeah, there we go. cli.github.com. Looks like the description setting is incorrectly formatted, right? Because I'm seeing a screenshot of GitHub repo about with text $, testing this out. So yeah, that $, shouldn't be there in the repo description. So that seems wrong. It should be testing this out, smiley face. And I'm pretty sure it's because I'm using template literal strings and ZH doesn't handle those well. There's some weird thing where like template literal strings, which is the syntax here you can do, it like passes the total string differently to them and not all tools handle it well. So I'm just gonna change this to $ parentheses so that it passes this all as one string. So that should fix that. And if I run the script again, where it's not named testing ABC, but repository, so it should set up the repo for me. Oh my god, .script, ./script, there we go. Setting up packages, hydrating repo labels. Pieces.sum. What the heck is pieces.sum? So the change I just did didn't work. What the heck? So it needs to be a template literal string? It'd be like, is the description wrong? So I'm just gonna log the description. Oop, and I have to undo changes because it removes the setup script from the README. Okay. Should log the description. So the description is the correct string. Wonder, can I get a terminal prompt? ZX, XZ, what is this thing called? ZX. AX, ZX. Shell? Nope. Okay. Anyway, I'm just going to go the docs for ZX because I want to know how to run a command. Because ZX says just use this script, this template little thing, but I'm so confused. It should work. It shouldn't be mangling it weirdly. Maybe if I do description equals description. See what happens. Ooh, everything passed through $whatever will be automatically escaped and quoted. So maybe I just don't need to add these quotes at all. Maybe that's the issue. I undo changes. So yeah, I'm just gonna remove those quotes. Setting up packages. Let's look at my repo description. Yay, it works. Okay, so the issue was I didn't read the docs. I'm an experienced developer and I did not read the docs. Shame on me. I didn't need to use quotes around this. Okay. Cool. So that's that bug fix. Revert all the changes. Like the setup script actually does a pretty good amount of stuff. It finds and replaces. It removes the setup script stuff specific to the repo. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, vert. So I have a couple of changes locally. I want to revert that. Actually, it's just the one thing. So the one thing locally. Oh, I have two fixes. The first fix was that I was importing from the wrong path. There's no .json in my all contributors config file, so I changed that to use fs directly. The second thing is I fixed the escape quotes on my description. Doesn't need to be quoted. So fun fact, in VS Code, you can right click in the diff view and, oh shoot, I didn't mean to revert. I meant to stage selected ranges. So I'm gonna stage this commit on new branch. Be setup, fix, description, feat, fix, or fix, corrected, description, quote in setup script. Alright, and this fixes, what is this fix? Number 122. It goes by the ZX docs saying you don't need to explicitly quote escape outs inputs, which is that URL. Cool. Ooh, getting that back pain. Love it. And here we go. Ooh, ZX is really cool. It's this nice little tool for writing better scripts. It lets you just directly run shell scripts in your JavaScript file. Which in theory you could already do with Node APIs, but this one wraps them and makes them really nice. It returns the string result of them. So it's this nice thing that I use in the setup script so I can run stuff on the command line more easily. And fixed. Fixed. Found and fixed an issue with repo description. This fix number 122. So I'm just going to update the Twitter thread. Boop. All right. So now I still need to fix this thing that I've been working towards, that the setup script needs to not crash. So I'm going to stash my changes. Check out main, get pull, get stash pop. So I just preserve my changes across switching around the branch. And now my changes to the setup script are to switch from ECMAScript module imports to using FS to read them. All right, so I'm going to commit these. Setup, fix all contributors. Fix corrected import path with FS. Corrected all contributors setup import path with FS. Cool. So what am I actually changing here? The issue is 117, shout out Master Chief. Turns out the file path that being imported is all contributors, not all contributors rc.json, contributors rc. ES module JSON imports don't support files that don't have the JSON extension. So this switches to using json.parse and fs.read file. All right. By the way, since I just merged that fix PR, we should, have a chore release that adds to the changelog. Very nice. And on NPM, we should have, I already forget the version 120.1. Because it was a fix, a bug fix, not a feature, it is a patch version update, 120.1. That's not the right package. Template-typescript-node-package. 120. There we go, 121. Yay. And this should release in a minute or two, version 120.2. All right. So feature setup script should also reset version history and changelog MD's contents. If I go to git checkout main pull, and then I rerun the setup script up through my history. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna switch that slightly because I'm gonna use the actual description in the description so that I don't keep resetting my package's description to testing it out, smiley face. All right. So once this finishes, okay, so it actually does switch the package JSON version to 001. That's good. But it doesn't reset the changelog contents. That's not great. I'm also seeing a new bug. I love this. Bugs everywhere. Where I had put an H1 in the changelog, and this was supposed to be on top of the file, and it's not. So I don't know what's going on there, but I'm just going to go ahead and move it to the top of the file. These are supposed to be H2s. By H1, H2, I'm saying heading level 1 or 2. So yeah, it's supposed to have one H1 heading level 1 at the top of the file, and then headings should never increase by more than one at a time. That way you have a nice, organized, accessible document. Anyway, this should replace the changelog locally. Set up. And I should just revert all changes. Boop. Changelog. Let's move you up. Delete the old one. Okay. Cool. And then in the setup script, hydrating repo, blah, blah, blah. Hydrating package metadata locally. So I'm going to add a new step. After we do all these fancy things to hydrate repo locally, I'm going to say clearing changelog, write fs.write file, changelog.md with just the contents, changelog, and then the end of line after that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to be slightly more clever. I'm going to do prettier.format with options, parser, and markdown. Did I miss a parentheses? Yes, I did. Okay. So we're going to clear the changelog to just changelog.md with changelog, parser, markdown. And in fact, I'm actually going to, instead of going to version 0.0.1, I'm going to go try version 0.0.0 because the changelog has nothing in it. And I'm going to suggest the commit. Oh yeah, it's a chore already. So now I want to delete all the git tags in local history. So I'm going to see git delete all tags. Delete all local tags. Okay, that's actually not so bad. So I'm going to add another thing. Done. And deleting local git tags. So it's just awaits dollar thing. All right. So in theory, I'm a little nervous about deleting all my git tags locally, but in practice, I think I can just fetch them. So I'm gonna dangerously try this out. So I just ran it and deleted a whole bunch of them, git fetch, and it just created a whole bunch of new tags. Awesome. So in theory, git add all to stash to make my changes good. So I'm going to run the setup script again. The changelog should be. All right, so what's actually happened is the changelog, yep, is an empty file with just the h1, otherwise empty, and everything looks good. Awesome. So that makes me happy. Git check out b setup clear tag history. And clear changelog and tags. Git tags. Feet clear changelog.md and local git tags in setup. Nice. And it can't automatically merge from main. That's great. I must have funked up my git history or something. We'll figure it out. Anyway, I forget if I actually filed this one. Oop, yep, here we go. So I'll send this PR, fixes number 121. Applies 2 more things in the setup script. Runs. Ooh. Where is it? Where's the script? Git tag D to delete local git tags. They can be retrieved again with git fetch. And then resets changelog md to just changelog. Explaining this script a little bit. Git tag -d, and then you pass it $parentheses git tag -l. When you use $parentheses in a shell script, I'm gonna move it up here, it takes the output from whatever you run inside and passes it as an input to whatever command is to its left. That's roughly how I describe it. So git tag-l gives you this huge list of your git tags, and then we pass that big list of git tags over to git tag-d, where I can infer -d means delete. So that's what that is doing. Oh, and resolving conflicts. Yeah, so checkout main, git pull, git checkout, setup, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so here's an example actually of using the GH script. You GH PR checkout, and then you paste in the number of the PR, or even just its URL, and it goes back to that PR. Very nice. Git merge main. I'm just gonna accept incoming changes, and where's my change log? I don't have a change log. It looks like release it actually. Release it is posting the wrong heading level here. So I'm gonna have to file a bug on them that they're posting H3s when they really should be posting H2s. So merge branch main. All right. So this PR should run. By the way, I've been streaming for about 1 hour 27 minutes. I'm gonna stop in 3 minutes. If any of you have any final questions you want to ask, that would be great. I'd love to answer them. Love to chat. Also, if you have any channels you think that I should follow or raid, meaning send all these viewers that I have over to, that would be great. I like raiding channels when I'm done. So hit me up. Anyway, these PR checks are running, finishing. Lovely, lovely. I accidentally pinned a message in Twitch chat. Okay. Whew. So we'll see what happens with the changelog. Yeah, I moved this pound changelog up. So hopefully release it is smart enough to put the new things after the H1 and not before. If not, that's another bug. Alrighty. So just going back to main. Thank you. I'm glad this was useful. That's my goal here, to showcase the stuff I'm doing and what it's like to work in open source. Thank you. Camera install. Yep. All right. So I'm just gonna close out the stream by filing 1 or 2 bugs. Ooh, what a great question. What are all those things in the PR check? So, one of the reasons why I set up this template TypeScript node package is because there are a whole bunch of things that I always want run on my pull requests. Something that many people might be familiar with is testing. If not familiar in that you've done it and that you know it's a thing that exists, that people run tests on code. So I set up a nice good config to run unit tests on my code. It also computes test coverage, so which lines of code are or are not run by tests. And then, oh boy, my code gov is broken. Whatever. Anyway, so there's something for me to look at later. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I do on every PR commit that's set up in this repo. And just going through them quickly in order. Actually, before I go through them in order, I'll note that they are all explained some of them are explained in the README of what they're done, like the high level stuff. And then there's also a development file, .github/development, that explains most or all of them. And if there's something missing there, please let me know. Always looking to fix any issues in docs. But just going through them in order. Build runs TypeScript to check for type errors or syntax errors. Compliance makes sure that the PR addresses an open issue and has like a good PR title. Yay. Lint is ESLint. Lint markdown is markdown lint. Lint package is this package JSON linter. So those are 3 linters, tools that look at your code and without running it, complain if it can tell something's wrong, like if there's an unused variable or something. I run this dedupe command that makes sure there are no duplicate packages. I run this prune commands. These are all third-party libraries, things people published npm. Prune to make sure there are no files or things in files that are never used. I use lint spelling to do a spell check, prettier for formatting, and then also tests. So just a lot of stuff that you don't need in a repo, but is nice to have. Like the repo exists, it can't exist without them, but it's a good idea to have them. Like one would say you need them for a good repo, at least some of those. So yeah, let's just look at that commit that got created. And yeah, no, it looks like so interesting. Release it is putting ##, so the H2s, but it's putting them above the changelog header. So now I need to go to the release it package and check their options. Configurations, see configuration for more details. And anything about changelog? Recipes changelog. Auto changelog, oh boy. Auto changelog, I've never seen this before. All right. So there are these different conventions for the changelog. Git log ... Is that their way of saying just use the git log? Okay. Command line tool for generating a changelog. So if I do, what happens if I do npx auto changelog? Needs to install, blah, blah, blah. Yes, good. Install. Ooh, that's a fancy display. Unfortunately, the headings are wrong. Wonder if there's a way to change that. But anyway, I'll just look at the other changelog options that they have there. See if I like any of them. Release it, keep a changelog, and release a conventional changelog. Do I use this already? Changelog. Oh, I already used conventional changelog. All right, so I already used this one with the conventional commits header. Oh, it just needs a header. Great. So I don't need any of this stuff. I can just use conventional changelog. Awesome. So I'm just going to file an issue on my repo that I need to use the header. All right. Feature, add a header to the changelog. Type feature, accepting pull request, area tooling. Changelog.md right now doesn't support starting with header. It needs to be configured manually. Okay. So check out B, changelog header. So release it JSON, I put the header changelog, so I'll just undo all my changes to the changelog that the other tool made. All right. So anything that's three hashes and then an array start, I changed to 2. Oh, you know what? I think I need to pull from main. Git check out main, git pull. Yeah. I'm just gonna start that over. Delete my other branches. All right. So git checkout B changelog header. So now I can fix this changelog. Anything that's 3 hashes and then an array, I'm going to multi-select and switch to 2. And under release it, add back in that header. Add header to changelog. Great. So that is the last thing I'll do on the stream today before I run away and raid someone else. And that's number 126 that it's resolving. So I'll post that in the Twitch chat and my Twitter. Noted I added configured the changelog header well. Adjusts the existing change to correct some keys and uses the line sets pound changelog as the header in the release settings. Oh boy, I feel good. I feel like I really made progress on this today. Just looking through the list of pull requests I merged today, I fixed the setup script a bunch. Now I've gotten the changelog things working. I added a new label and I fixed the description quote. Cool. I also fixed a bunch of stuff with semantic releasing and whatnot. Ooh, why do you update your Twitter when you make changes to the repo? Just to inform people who follow you use the repo? Yeah, this is something I've just been doing for my streams, where I'll make a long thread announcing announcing that the stream will happen that day. And then everything I do I put on the thread. I also upload all this stuff to YouTube. I actually have to upload my last stream. And on each of these, I, in the description, have links to the thread and then all the things from the thread I copy here. Not a huge fan of how this one starts me off with closed eyes. Didn't realize that. So yeah, just posting that. But good question. Yeah, it's just for posterity, just so people can see what I did later on and I can I can remember what I did. So basically, yes, to answer your question. I know. I also think it's cool to look back and see, all this stuff that I did over time. All right, now I want to see, once the release goes through, I want to see what it does to the changelog file. Check out main, pull, build branch. All right, so it looks like the release ran. It's publishing to Git. All right, look at that. It worked. It kept the nice formatting. Yay. 122 features. Awesome. Cool. Releases. Oh, I love seeing a nicely organized page. This makes me happy. So I didn't get to testing the end-to-end script or making an end-to-end test script for the setup, nor the GitHub API. Ran out of time for there, or branch protections. But that would be cool, actually. Yeah, one of the things I want to do in 2023 is really get serious about my streaming. I want to live stream both to Twitch and YouTube because I know YouTube's like a big audience and people want to be able to watch there. I also want to automate this more, and yeah, I'd love to post to Twitter during a stream, like on a thread whenever I do something. That'd be cool. Anyway, for another time, I see Finite Singularity is streaming. So this is my stream manager. So we're gonna raid in 10 seconds so I can go lunch, finish cleaning my cat litter. This was a pleasure. Thank you so much for chatting, especially you, Banzai. You've been great. Hope to see you all later. Oh my God, I almost forgot to promote. Later today, I'm doing a stream with Rizal. We're setting up a Next.js site. So that'll be a whole thing. Bye.